I could list you now a bazillion of standards, but let's put ourselves into the shoes of an auditor. And the typical auditor is not an AI expert, and in frequent cases, they're not even a software expert. So what they do is to apply what they already know. And the standard they all know best is 13485, our quality standard. So a typical question you should therefore expect is a question like, okay, where did you determine the competence of your personnel? Important, specific to this particular development project. That means specific to this product. And if you don't have this listed down, and if you don't have the evidence that your personnel is actually achieving this competence level, then you are in trouble. The same holds true for the next question. The next question is, can you give us the rationale for the sample size? Since this is also, let's say, a question they are used to if they review the validation section of your technical documentation. And then you have basically to discuss, why did you pick certain number of training data or validation data and so forth? And they at least would like to have an explanation. The third one, this is a tricky one. And it also relates to 13485 for the reasons I just told you. And this is now the section, actually there are 3 sections, but I picked one, where it's about validation of computer software, CSV, computerized software validation. And now things turn to be a little tricky, since we have now a lot of software in this entire process. We have on the one hand side here in blue, all the software which is used to process, for example, data, to collect the data, to prepare data. That would be, for example, exclude outliers or make unit conversions or convert it from, let's say, numbers to the frame between 0 and 1, for example, or make it from continuous data to canonical, to classical data, stuff like that, yeah? Then you have the code to train the model. You have code to validate your model, and you have probably code even to distribute your software. And all that software is scope of 13485. And only a small part, basically the code which goes into your product, this is scope of IEC 62304. And the difficulty thereby is that you use, in both cases, even the same libraries. Yeah, libraries, for example, like the one you see here, which are then either soup, if it goes into a device, or which are part of a computer system which needs to be validated. And this is now really tricky, basically, to have 2 different concepts. Now you have a library, which is in one part considered to be a soup, and in another part, it's considered to be a part of a software which has to undergo computerized software validation. In other words, regulations do not only apply to your medical device, but in this particular case also to software which you use in your quality processes.